is only a 20-minute drive from everything Washington, D.C. has to offer, to Centerville, Virginia, and Bolero, where it's time for the PBA playoffs to resume here on Fox. This playoff bracket started with the top 24 point earners on this year's PBA Tour, and tonight it's down to the round of 16. Here on the left side of the bracket with heavyweights Jason Belmonte, Sean Rash, Anthony Simonson, and Chris Prather joining the action after receiving byes in the first round. Welcome, bowling fans, back to Centerville. Dave Ryan alongside Randy Peterson, the Hall of Famer, joined by Kimberly Prester. Lane-level interviews throughout the broadcast as well. And the belt, Randy, is here. It goes to the winner of the PBA playoffs. It's just absolutely awesome. Speaking of awesome, we've got 4 new bowlers to the playoffs for this show. We've got Hall of Famers. We've got legends. And right out of the gate, it's going to be Jason Belmonte on TV. Now, Chris Prather. He's the defending champ, but his mood in the interview today I thought was pretty interesting.
Yeah, I think you're right. It was kind of different when the defending champ of an event tells you that he's nervous coming in, but that's certainly what Chris Prather told us in the interviews. But boy, was he magical last year, taking down Bill O'Neill in the best of 2. He swept both games. Let's not forget that Chris is also a 2-time winner back-to-back of the PBA League with the Portland Lumberjacks, and then this year winning another $100,000, capturing the Tournament of Champions. He's made a lot of money over the last year and a half. And also an interesting thing that he told us in our interview was there was one thing that he really, really wanted, and it's this.
He would like that belt. And so would Belmo, who's just been so great again over the last year, bound for his 6th Player of the Year award. He's got 25 career titles. The two-hander from down under was so good in this building, recently winning the Chameleon.
Yeah, he really was, and down the stretch through a couple of strikes late to seal the deal for his 25th win. But going against Jacob Butturff today, he's gotten the better of Jacob the last couple of times out, winning the World Championship in Detroit and then following up by beating Jacob again in Japan. But Dave Ryan, spoiler alert, I think Jacob Butturff is going to give Belmo all he wants today.
Ooh, that is going to be fun to watch, as is the interview Kimberly has with Jason Belmonte.
Thanks, Dave. So, Jason, you're hot off your World Series Bowling Chameleon Championship win. So what's your game plan today to beat Jacob, who's already beat Tommy Jones on this pattern?
Yeah, I think the strategy is going to be very different today because being a left-handed player in Jacob, he's not going to transition my side of the lane. So I'm going to have to be really, really clever with the way that I'm going to attack the lanes to hopefully make them a little bit better for myself as the match goes on. And then at the end of the day, I've got to make sure I don't give it an opportunity to strike out because as you saw against Tommy Jones, he's very capable of striking out to win.
So this isn't a normal trophy. You would be actually getting a WWE belt. Have you thought about how good you'd look in it if you won it?
Yeah, I'm just going to make sure that, security lets me through with it back home, that, it's not a dangerous weapon. I've seen them use it as dangerous weapons. So, I certainly am looking forward to the opportunity to get close enough to hold up the belt, but it's got to start today. It's got to start with 10 great shots against Jacob.
Appreciate your time. Thank you.
All right, Kimberly, thanks so much. Randy, lane conditions tonight.
39-foot Don Carter, a little tricky, but the players today, both Belmonte and Butturff, are going to use urethane to try to control the pocket. You'll see Jason Belmonte arcing it a little bit to the right, and Jacob Butturff doing what he does, throwing that slow curve on the left side of the lane.
What a matchup we've got. Belmonte, world's #1. It's the lefty, Jacob Butturff, in the round of 16 at the PBA playoffs. Now, let's meet Jacob Butturff.
What happens in Vegas does not stay in Vegas when it comes to Jacob Butters Butturff. Repping the Sin City, Butters throws the ball with reckless abandon, leaving opponents and announcers just scratching their heads. His style may be unorthodox, but it works. With 7 PBA titles and a recent televised 300, Butters is bringing his Vegas style and going all in on the PBA Tour. Will his poker face best the competition at this year's PBA playoffs, or will someone else be holding pocket aces? This is Jacob Butturff.
He's Mr. Vegas now. Yes, the style is unorthodox, but man, is it effective. He is fun to watch. Southpaw sensation. Jacob Butturff starts with a strike.
Well, if that's somebody holding pocket aces is Jason Belmonte, I've seen pocket aces lose before.
Now here he is. world's number 1. Let's meet Jason Belmonte.
Belmo. No, that's not like it. It's the Thunder from Down Under, the man who changed the game when he introduced the world to two-handed bowling and started taking titles by storm. What's Australian for GOAT? It's 25 titles, 5 Player of the Year awards, and an epic Super Slam completion. But a PBA playoff trophy is one piece of metal not on our hero's shelf. Will that all change this year?
He's the greatest! He's the greatest!
This is Jason Belmonte.
Yes, he wants that PBA playoff trophy, of course. He wants the belt we saw at the top of the broadcast, too. Why not both? To bring back to Australia. Belmo gets started. 10 pin.
I thought it was real interesting in our interview with Jason in regards to his opponent, Butturff. Jason said, well, you never really know what you're going to quite get.
Butturff, the only one-handed lefty in the PBA playoffs. 5 times, soon to be 6-time Chris Schenkel PBA Player of the Year. Jason Belmonte. What a season. U.S. Open, World Championship, Chameleon. Lane, trip 10.
I was doing some numbers on Belmonte, and over the last 4 years, he's done some amazing things out here as we watch the 6 take the 10 out. But, you know, if he wins this event, he'll go over $1 million in earnings over the last 4 seasons.
Wow. Just over 4 years. And keep in mind, he had some TV struggles at the start of the season. Back to Butturff, knocked off the Hall of Famer by striking out in the 10th for a 1-pin win. Looking good. Right lane. Ten back for Butter.
Against Tommy Jones, he sets up the 10th frame nicely. Tommy Jones strikes out 9th and 10th, forcing Jacob to get all 3. And there's the winning shot. He wins by 1.
215, 214, won a match over Tommy Jones. Now he goes from a current Hall of Famer to a future Hall of Famer in Belmo. Stay perfect early. Butturff. Whoa. Will not shot.
Got it inside and went right through the nose. You can see the red line about 2 boards to the right of target the last time he struck on that lane. So what he's going to try to do is get the ball over here to the right side or left side of the 2-pin, cut it over into the 6-10, and the ball will take out the 4-7.
.610 stands, open frame.
Huge opening now for Belmonte. Pitch black is his ball of choice. Remember, both players using urethane, not reactive resin. Reactive resin, much stronger, much more violent in terms of reaction.
For a 19-pin lead. Ringing 10-pin. Good shot.
Well, he left the 10-pin in the first on that right lane. It was a weak 10, and now this time, Dave Ryan, it's the ringing 10. See the 6 go around the 10-pin there. And yeah, 93% spare conversion percentage in 2020. Those numbers brought to us by our good friends at Lane Talk. For more great stats and information, go to lanetalk.com.
10-pin, Belmo, got it. We asked him today what it feels like to win Player of the Year. He's done it 5 times. He said it was hard to describe, the feeling, the emotion, but he loves what he's doing, and clearly it's working out well with 25 career titles after the Chameleon this year. He also said he's got to give his family credit because he's got to be gone so much. It's basically half the year he's on the road and away from Australia with his beautiful young family back home rooting him on, supporting him the best they can.
Yeah, it's really tough. I remember when Amleto Monicelli first came out on tour, he had to leave Venezuela, and it wasn't like if he had a bad week or a bad tournament, he could just turn around and hop on a plane. It's even... Oh, man.
7-10 stands for Belmo. Hard to believe that 7 didn't fall.
It's even more trying for Jason Belmonte because he lives that much farther away. But all right, let's sum up his first 4 frames. Leaves a 10-pin, then he strikes on this left lane, leaves another 10-pin, and now it's a pocket 7-10, and not good. I think he's in trouble, even though the match is close.
Takes the 10, leaves the 7, open frame. And Butturff on the bench, now up by 4 pins in this round of 16 match. It's single game elimination in the 2020 PBA playoffs.
You want to know why I think he's in trouble?
I want to know.
Well, because he's hit the pocket 4 times and he's thrown 1 strike, which means he's not getting his ball to go through the pins properly and hasn't figured out how to do that yet. Purple hammer for Jacob Butturff.
The lefty.
Okay, forget about what I just said.
I mean, these are tough leaves. 3, 6, 7, 9 up for Butturff. We knew, Randy, the lanes would be challenging. These are the best bowlers in the world, so imagine how tough these conditions are.
He's just got to barely skin that 3-pin, but this is makeable.
Let's see, Butturff, tough challenge on the spare conversion. Can't get it to the 7. Open frame, and back and forth we go. So we had in the round of 24 on some very tough conditions here in Centerville, Virginia. We opened up the PBA playoffs on Fox. 13th PBA World Championship, won, of course, by Belmo. That was back in March. Then the long layoff due to COVID-19. But the PBA is back to wrap up its season with the playoffs. Lane level look, Butturff. That's better.
Well, last 2 shots before that, he goes high and then he goes light. I didn't really see that coming. I watched him in practice. He never missed the pocket. There's that unique release of Jacob Butturff, rolling his wrist up underneath the bowling ball, and what a season he had last year. This year's been tough on him.
He's been disappointed. This guy's had a tremendous year again. Right lane, Belmo. Whoa!
Oh, that wasn't your best shot.
1, 2, 4, 6, 10.
Couple of ways to make this. You can throw the ball straight, get it on the right side of the head pin, and then the ball deflects off into the 6 and the 10, or you go this side of the head pin and sling that over into the 6-10. The ball takes out the 4 and 7.
Tough spare, Belmo covers beautifully. It's the spare of the game, brought to you by Guaranteed Rate. Mortgage rates historically low. Save money at rate.com today. Randy, this was special.
Yeah, it's a great conversion to keep from going back-to-back open frames. And not only that, he doesn't lose any count because there was an open in the 4th. The concern I have, though, is that he threw that shot and said, man, that was one of your best of the game. And he got 5.
Bowling fans, you know, Randy was concerned about Jason Belmonte today because of the conditions, because of facing Jacob Butturff. Well, we really couldn't foresee Butturff having his issues today.
Yeah, I wasn't. It wasn't that I was concerned about Jason Belmonte. I was concerned about Butturff because I've seen what Butturff can do. We saw what he did against Tommy Jones and striking out to win by 1. And Jacob Butturff didn't miss the pocket in that match.
Here's Belmo left lane now. There's a strike. It's just been the story. Centerville, Virginia, back and forth, Randy. Bottom line, we could have another great finish.
Well, we're real close right now. 7-pin match, halfway through. Lots more to come.
Dave Ryan, Randy Peterson, Kimberly Pressler with you as the PBA playoffs roll on here on Fox. And what a matchup to begin our show, Belmo and Butturff. Perfect pocket hit. 1-2 pocket for him. Takes the lead into the 6th frame by 3 pins.
And here we see the difference in how the two players are playing the lanes, both on the right and left side. Butturff out to 6.5 forward at the arrows, and then to 3 at the break point. Belmonte a little bit straighter than that. Right now, Jacob Butturff just took the lead after a double.
This to go up by 13 pins. 6-pin stands.
So good.
He liked it.
He did. Again, just slightly inside of target right there. You can see the red line next to the blue line. And that's why he leaves the 6-pin. Covers it nicely. Now, Dave, I think the key shot in this match is coming up right here on the right lane for Jason Belmonte. PBA World Championship first, and then Cheetah 7th, Chameleon 1st, and Scorpion just missing out on the televised finals, getting knocked out by Darren Tang.
Here it is, Randy. 7th frame, looking for a double. How will he do on that right lane? Belmo? Yes.
Well, and the reason why I thought that was so big is because the last time up on that lane, he left a 5-count washout and said that was one of my best shots. So now, for me, as a player, I want to see what kind of adjustment's going to be made. What is his mindset on this shot here? Well, all he did was give it more room to the right to find a little more friction and made sure that his speed was perfect. The lead goes back to the Belmonte camp.
At least for now. To go up by 18, left lane, Belmo, another huge shot.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Those pins had no chance.
Big shot there.
Crushes the 1-3 pocket. It's October, which means it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Head to PBA.com for information on how to enter PBA's fundraiser. Enter to win an exclusive PBA League banner signed by every PBA League player to raise money for striking against breast cancer. All details at the new PBA.com.
And thoughts and prayers go out to Hall of Famer Chris Barnes' sister, Laura Sullivan, who's fighting stage 4 cancer.
Butturff, late. Fall on the 10-pin, down it goes. Absolutely, our very best to her and the Barnes family.
I mean, the PBA's family, all of our thoughts and prayers are with Laura, her family, the Barnes. The Barneses, we're all there fighting with you guys. Nice little hit there on the 10 late for Butturff. Sorry, it's a little hard to transition out of that.
It is. Well said. Foundation frame. Butturff.
Are you kidding me?
Wow. 3-7.
Really? My. Good.
Split city here in Centerville.
Well, and it's setting up exactly the way Jason Belmonte described it to us in our interviews, where he said, you never know what you're going to get with this guy. I mean, he could throw 7 or 8 in a row to start, or he starts with a couple of strikes, and then it's an open frame. This is his third split. Nice
Takes
cover.
care of this one, though. Wow, what a conversion.
I mean, it gives him a slim chance, but I think it was real interesting when Belmonte said you never really see Jacob shoot like 247 clean, where it's like 4-bagger and then 9 spare and then 3-bagger and then 9 spare. It's just kind of either feast or famine, and that's exactly what this game has turned out to be for Jacob Butturff.
So now it's in the capable 2 hands of this guy. Belmo looks for the four-bagger, a 28-pin lead. World's number one steps up and leaves a 4-pin, but no split.
Yeah, that's quite all right because all he needs to do is good count and marks the rest of this game. He's going to be in the low 200s. So conversion here on the 4-pin and a mark and good count in the 10th frame, and Jason Belmonte will move on.
He's got some other ideas about some cool bowling products coming up, but Belmo just loves them, and they are, what do you say, some dope kicks? Dope shoes, mate. Man, does he look good. Well, he's bowling pretty well. Also here, trying to wrap this one up. Takes a re-rack, think it over a bit. Belmo's got quite a trip home when this is done. He's got to actually quarantine in Australia in a hotel for 14 days to make sure that he's okay to go home to his family in New South Wales. Needs a mark. Whoa,
yeah,
double wood.
Yeah,
8-pin.
Yeah, I kind of saw that coming, and you know, I was thinking, okay, a little too firm or a little right. This oil pushing down towards the pins, and the last thing you want to see is a 2-8-10 in that situation where you just need a mark. Reared its ugly head for a split second.
Come on.
Yeah, it needs 5. Yeah, this is a hard-fought match on a tricky oil pattern.
And we knew it would be.
Yeah.
Randy, this is grind-out, challenging bowling on these conditions, where a 1-pin win, as Butturff had over Tommy Jones, the Hall of Famer, in the first round, whatever it takes to move on, it's tough. Belmo needs 5. Belmo gets 10, gets the win, and knocks out Jacob Butturff from the round of 16. Belmo is going to the Elite 8 of the 2020 PBA playoffs. The world's number one advances. Rash, Lavoie to follow in the 8-9 seed matchup. Rash top 8, got to by the first round, but Lavoie had to bowl against the Hall of Famer Norm Duke. Took him down 256, 193. Rash, Lavoie next. You're watching the 2020 PBA Tour playoffs on Fox. One match complete. Belmonte beats Butturff 205-195. Now we're set for match 2. Should be a great one. 8-seeded Sean Rash against Francois Lavoie of Quebec, Canada. Now let's meet Francois.
Pardon-moi, but have you met Francois Lavoie? This suited-up former Rookie of the Year hails from our neighbor to the north, and the French-Canadian isn't afraid to step on U.S. soil and swipe titles. The first international player to do it, Francois Lavoie has not one, but 2 U.S. Open wins. The buttoned-up youngster may not seem like much of a threat, but under that suit and tie is a fearless competitor who can read the most challenging of oil patterns. With a smooth, steady finesse that's putting his opponents to shame, this is Francois Lavoie.
C'est bon, c'est bon. Francois Lavoie. He is fabulous from Quebec City. We saw in that little feature about Francois beating Sean Rash in the U.S. Open 2019 just outside Charlotte for one of his 2 U.S. Open titles. Lavoie, good start, left lane.
Francois looks like he can star in an international spy movie when he's wearing that suit.
Yeah, man of mystery, maybe.
Yeah, I like it. I don't know about mystery, but it just kind of has that.
Is he the hero or the villain?
That really, no, he would be the hero.
Now let's meet his opponent for our match here tonight, Sean Rash.
Grab your parka, because Alaska's own Sean Rash has entered the building. Rash is as brash as they come.
Let's have some fun!
The only pro to ever bowl 2 perfect games on TV This father of three is seeking revenge against his arch-rival, Jason Belmonte.
Come on!
With a competitive fire that's melted all of his last frontier chill, Rash is out to prove once and for all that one hand is better than two. 15 years in, and this future Hall of Famer is still burning up the scene. But does he have what it takes to claim victory at the PBA playoffs? This is Sean Rash.
16 tour titles. The last came here at the Cheetah in this very bowling center recently. En route to the Hall of Fame, Sean Rash gets started. Looking for some help across the deck on the 10-pin, but it stands for Sean.
Well, he may have needed his parka in Alaska, but we'll see if he gets hot enough here tonight.
You know, my in-laws live in Alaska.
To need one of those, yeah.
But we don't go in the wintertime. So we go visit in the summertime. No parking needed.
I've been to Alaska. It's beautiful.
It is incredible. Cross lane, 10-pin. There's Sean. No problem there. Talked about that with Sean today, about his great TV record. He said he loves the focus and the big moments and the bright lights of television. And he sure has done that. A really good 2020. And a finger injury around the time of the TOC in Ohio. Derailed him for a while. Left lane, Rash, yes. That was a strike, 1-3 pocket.
Yeah, that was a beauty.
You grab me a nose.
He's really gotten good over the last few years at going straighter down the lane, and it's made him a lot of money. Seventh in earnings last season and 2 wins this season. It's been a nice last 2-3 years for Sean Rash.
Nice match, Lavoie against Norm Duke, opening round of this event. There's a nice strike again for Francois. Perfect shot, 1-3 pocket for the 9th seed, and he took down the Hall of Famer Norm Duke really with no problem, Randy.
Yeah, in fact, Francois Lavoie has bowled the highest game of this event thus far, and he shot 256 at Norm, striking in 9 of 10 frames, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 strikes in that blowout win against Norm Duke.
Big hockey fan growing up, but not the Nordiques because they had moved to Colorado, but loves his Canadians. Lane, strike again for Francois. He played hockey until he's about 12, 13 years old. He told us then body checking was allowed. He said, you know what, I'm going to stick with bowling. I don't like this physical stuff getting slammed into the boards.
Yeah, it's probably a good move on Francois' part. Nice break here, though, tripping that 4-pin to start perfect. He's had the best look thus far through the playoffs.
Rash. 10-pin this time for Sean. He told us pre-match he felt really good about his game plan and path to the pocket. Power right at the 1-3.
Well, 2 really good-looking shots on this right lane, and you would think with that kind of angle coming into the pocket from the extreme right side that he should be able to bump that 10 out. Not the case on that right lane.
The tendon injury in his finger lasted from the TOC all the way to the World Championship in Las Vegas, which started there at South Point.
Yeah, I think we owe a real big shout out to Mike Moniak in South Point Bowling Plaza in Vegas. It was too bad because of everything that's happened in 2020 that we couldn't go back and finish the World Series of Bowling. But Francois was the first player to ever roll a 300 game in a TV Finals match at the U.S. Open, and he did it right there at South Point.
Able to finish the World Series of Bowling here in Centerville. And Sean won the Cheetah for his 16th title.
Play.
4-pin.
That's 4 good shots and 1 strike.
Reminiscent of Belmonte's match in our opener. Francois Lavoie trips the 4-pin. Sean Rash does not.
Got the 4-pin, no problem there. It was October 30th of 2019, the first and only official matchup on TV. Lavoie and Rash won by Francois 221-172. So the Storm PBA World Series of Bowling, we did wrap it up here in Centerville, Virginia. Belmonte won the World Championship. That was at South Point in Vegas. Rash, Belmo again, and Karsten Hansen won his first stateside career PBA Tour title with a Scorpion win here at Bolero Centerville. We saw Lavoie on TV at the World Series in Centerville as well. He's no stranger to the bright lights, Randy.
He's not. Right now, Lavoie is just perfect through 4. He's just splitting boards and absolutely puring it out of his hand.
Front 4 for Francois.
I asked him earlier, excuse me, Dave, I asked him earlier in practice. Said, Frankie, as we call him on tour, how much do you weigh? And he said, about $130. I said, are you sure? Nice.
Perfection continues. Front 5 for Lavoie. He may be a little slight of stature, but he's got some powerful
Kid can bowl.
attributes to his game without question.
You know, 2016 he wins the U.S. Open, and then he kind of went silent on us for a couple of years, and then turns around in 2019 and wins it again. He's back for sure. Rash.
4-8.
Too fast.
Sean's in big trouble.
Maybe a tad slower.
He knows it. Because Francois doesn't look like he's going to slow down anytime soon. Be careful with this 4-8 as it is easily choppable. There you go.
Hey, chop it, Randy. I heard you.
Sorry, buddy. we're a long ways away, too.
Your voice tends to carry.
I got a big mouth. There's no doubt about it. Afterburner is Sean's orb of choice. Sean needs to strike out, in my opinion, to have any chance to win this game.
The 8 seed, the last bowler to get a bye to the round of 16 at the PBA playoffs. So he had to stay positive, looking for shots like that. A strike for Rash, but Randy, he's in a huge hole against a perfect game from Lavoie.
Francois Lavoie, perfect through 5. He knows how to bowl perfect games on television. He's perfect tonight.
You're watching the PBA playoffs here on Fox. Rash, Lavoie, 1 game, single elimination. It's the round of 16. Already Jason Belmonte, the world's #1, knocked off Jacob Butturff, the 17th seed this year. Belmo, the #1 seed. This is the 8-9 match. Lavoie hoping to get halfway to perfection, up by 43. Halfway home.
He's just threading the needle with every shot that he throws. His location at the arrows and down lane has just been spot on. He's got that wrist broken back, and then right at the last minute, he gets a little cup into it. Boy, that ball roll is really pretty, especially when he's got a little bit of angle and can use the outside part of the lane. He can get his ball to hit better.
As we've talked about, Francois has bowled a perfect 300 game once before on television, and he did it at one of the sport's most prestigious events, the 2016 U.S. Open. The 23-year-old Lavoie rolled a perfect game in the semifinals against Sean Maldonado to become the first player in history to accomplish the feat during the Open stepladder finals. Lavoie looks for another one. Yes, indeed.
Right now he's like a bulldog on a pork chop, just putting boots to Sean Rash, and he won't give him any breathing room at all.
63-pin lead, and the front 7 for Lavoie. Dave, Randy, our entire crew. Kimberly with you here in Centerville, Virginia. Rash just hoping to stay in the conversation.
Great shot. A lot of game.
Strikes on the right lane. The most fearless voice in sports is on FS1. The one and only Colin Cowherd is bold, unique, and outspoken. And you can see him on The Herd weekdays on FS1 and the Fox Sports app.
Got one back. About 30 down, but got one back.
Double
Nice
Rash
that one in the 4th frame.
with a ball change on the left lane. Up steps Francois Lavoie. Had a pleasure of calling that 2016 perfect game. There's his arsenal.
Throwing the trend.
At the U.S. Open in Vegas. Here it's the PBA playoffs. How about 8 straight, Francois? You bet. 8 up, 8 down. Wow.
Another beauty. Well, he had the highest game prior to this game in the playoffs, and now he's going to beat that game.
Looking for 9. There it is. How fine is 9? Francois Lavoie. 9 in a row and 3 shy of a 300 game here at the PBA playoffs. Had to hurry to get back, and the 2-8 down late for Rash,
Randy,
who
what the hell
himself
you doing?
has
The guy
2
throws the front
300
nine at you.
TV games, making history. The last time, 2015, against Ryan Simonelli at the TOC in Indy.
Well, you could vaguely hear Sean Rash saying, well, what do you do when someone throws a front 9 at you? And as you see, Sean is the first player in PBA history to roll 2 televised 300 games in competition. But who was it? Marshall Kent, who said,
240. Everyone up in the building.
catch the right guy at the right time? Well, that's not what happened with Sean Rash. If he strikes out 247, I do believe would be the 3rd highest game throughout the competition here in the PBA playoffs, and he's going to get smoked.
Heard him say it a minute ago. In the 240s, not going to win. Tough. 2-pin stands this time for Sean. A really good effort. Now his 300 of the TOC in 2015 was number 25 all time on TV in PBA Tour history. Lavoie was after him in Vegas against Sean Maldonado.
And to further my point about catching the right person at the right time, remember our opening match? It was Jason Belmonte 205 to Jacob Butturff's 195.
Numbers have been nowhere near this good until now. Up steps Lavoie as he looks for the front 10. Looking for 10. Has it.
Nice. 2 trip 4s for Lavoie. I'll tell you what. You need to have some breaks when you're going to bowl 300, especially on television. He's gotten a couple nice ones. But boy, oh boy, I'll tell you what, he's pured a lot of shots, especially on this right lane. A right-hander's best friend, the trip 4.
Too shy of perfection. Looks for 11. Lavoie, yes! He's got 11. He needs one more for a perfect game. Incredible bowling for Francois Lavoie.
Let's see if I remember how to do this.
The match is in hand. Now he wants a piece
Anybody
of
else
history.
nervous?
For PBA bowling history, Lavoie, he's got it! A 300 game for Francois Lavoie, the 29th all-time in PBA Tour history. How about it, Francois?
Thanks, Thanks. I don't know what to tell you. Crazy.
Clean break of the game brought to you by Light Life. Oh, yeah. He is going to celebrate the moment. Light Life, the official plant-based burger partner for the PBA. At Light Life, our passion is making great-tasting plant-based food with simple, clean ingredients. And that is sweet. A 300 game for Lavoie here in Centerville, Virginia.
All right, Francois, you are not known for a lot of emotion, so you better be smiling underneath that mask. I did see you just jump it a few minutes ago, and my goodness, you've earned it. Describe what this moment is like, a 300 on national television.
Yeah, it's crazy. You know, people ask me a lot of the times what it was like shooting 300 at the U.S. Open, and they asked me if I was nervous, and I was. And it was the same thing today. I was nervous again, and I'm just glad I did it.
You did not look it, but this right here belongs to you, so why don't you go ahead and take it?
Thank you very much.
That's 10 grand. Hope you got some things you're going to spend that on, and congratulations.
Sure,
You're now advancing.
Thank you very much.
$10,000 for the 300 game on TV for Francois Lavoie. He ties Sean Rash, second career 300 game to make PBA Tour history. Randy, that was fun to watch.
Francois got up and he said, let's see if I remember how to do this, and he absolutely cured it.
Simonson and Prather. The present and the future of the PBA. Undeniable stars, hopeful for another career-defining moment. Can Shark recreate his magical 2019 run? It's the PBA playoffs on Fox.
Ready to resume the 2020 PBA Tour playoffs. Simonson and Dick Allen will go head-to-head in the round of 16. It's a one-game single elimination format. After Belmonte and Lavoie have won already here tonight. Now let's meet Dick Allen.
Despite the tattoo on his left arm, Dick Allen is anything but typical. With a scrappy style and serious backswing, Dick's been holding his own for 21 years on the tour, famously beating out the brash Sean Rash with a one-pin win in 2019. Will luck continue to be on this 42-year-old side, or was it all skill and never luck to begin with? If Dick Allen is a typical house bowler, we want to live that house. This is Dick Allen.
Where is that house anyway? I'd like to see it. He is anything but typical, no doubt about it. Lexington, South Carolina, not far from Columbia. Almost. South Carolina University.
Hit that long break.
3-6-10 for Dick Allen to begin this match. Head-to-head with Simonson. The superstar packed roster of bowlers in the round of 16 PBA playoffs. Watch out. 6-10 stands, early open, Dick Allen.
Chops the three straight back, and I think it's important to let the viewers know that these lanes were re-oiled during the break, and so this is a fresh oil pattern now.
Now let's meet Anthony Simonson.
Simo is the baby-faced bad boy of bowling. Dropping out of high school at only 16 to become a pro bowler, his scrappy style has gotten him far.
When you grow up on the lanes, you grow up fast and tough.
While he might look sweet and innocent, Simo's temper is anything but. He's known for his low-to-the-ground, aggressive two-hand style and aggressive attitude on the lanes. He's paid for it, too, with fines to the league for going so far as to break equipment at a tournament. But he's breaking records as well. The youngest person to ever win a major, Simo is also the first to win a PBA Tour title using his backup ball. With so much riding on the line, can he keep his temper in check and claim a victory at the PBA playoffs? This is Anthony Simonson.
Young guy. Sure, he's high in emotion, but tremendous talent. Simonson.
Yeah, he breaks a lot of records, that's for sure. As far as his temper goes, I think that's just youth. That's just being an extremely successful 23-year-old.
A lot of energy, a lot of talent for Simo. Covers nicely. This guy's done so much in such a short amount of time, only 23 years old. 7 titles and 2 majors. Youngest to win a major at 19, youngest to win 2 majors. I mean, for such a young guy, Randy, all those career TV matches already, it's remarkable.
It really is.
Wow. Labels the 1-3 pocket and crushes all 10.
And the unique two-handed style. Look how low his head gets going to the foul line. Pretty incredible technique, but he is one of the best. And Jason Belmonte has said it before that he feels Simonson's going to be the heir apparent to him.
Dick Allen off the open frame. Not what he wanted there. Flat 10.
Simonson going with urethane, which allows him to go much straighter. And Dick Allen is going with reactive resin, and that's why he has to cover more ground. You can see how much deeper he is just inside a third arrow and out to about the 3 board. 3-4 board to the right.
Watch it. Got that 10 pin. Just enough of a 10 to knock it into the pit. Down 12 early. As Dick told us pre-match interviews. After beating Don Barrett in the first round, 227-190. Been an injury-laden season for him. Wrist problems, elbow, forearm. Nothing that was traumatic in terms of needing surgery, but just bothered him all year long. Never comfortable. Bowling in pain. Feels great now, though. Here at the playoffs in Centerville. Okay.
Yeah, good looking shot on that one there, but just a ring 10 standing for Dick Allen. Look at this, 6 around. I love that he told us mom and grandma used to call him Ham Bum growing up because he was kind of a little guy.
10 pin got that one. Up steps Simo. Simonson right lane. Wow. Those pins had no chance against Anthony Simonson. Let's go to Kimberly now with our Go Bowling Lane Side report.
Well, guys, Anthony has always said that his goal was to be more than just a great bowler. So during his time off, he put into motion a plan to do just that. And he moved from his home state of Texas to Nevada, where he became the director of bowling operations at High Life Lanes at the Nerd in Las Vegas. Now, he does everything from financials to machine repairs and anything between that needs to be done, all while still finding time to be one of the best bowlers in the world.
Got to look him up, Kimberly, no question. Left lane here, Simo. And across the deck, the messenger will not tap the 10. It's around the Fremont Street area of Vegas. Neonopolis is nearby. Got to look him up, check it out.
Messenger in front of the 10. I think another great stat for Simonson is that if you look at his career earnings and include his win at the Bolero Elite Series, Simonson's made almost $800,000 in prize money, and he's only 23 years old.
Wow. Tremendous talent. 4-seed Simo last year at the PBA playoffs. Lost to Chris Prather, eventual champ semifinals. 2 wins last year for Dick Allen. Trip 10, down it goes. How did he get here? Randy will win over the 13 seed, the British sensation Dom Barrett, first round.
Well, he threw a late 4-bagger, and Dom Barrett was never really able to get locked in, and there's kind of the winner there that sealed the deal for him as he wins by 37.
227, 190, struck on the right lane 4 or 6 times. And stayed clean in that win over Dom. The PBA playoffs, it's been up and down here with some great bowling and some struggles against the very tough lane conditions. Left lane.
And look who's back in it.
Dick Allen's back in it. You didn't think he'd go away, did you?
No. I was a little surprised when he chopped the 3-6-10, albeit not that hard to do, but Simonson left the bucket in the first. He made it no problem. Then the 10-pin in the fourth. And after back-to-back 10 pins for Dick Allen, he now has a double, and he's right back in this.
Simonson. Good shot, 10-pin stance.
Well,
I can literally see a gap between the 1 and the 3. I don't know why.
It's the safest choice in terms of equipment when the players go to the urethane, but it hasn't struck a lot.
Cross lane. 10-pin, no worries there. Single pin spare conversion for the 4-seed Anthony Simonson, who has made 6 TV shows heading into the PBA playoffs. The last year in Centerville, recently at the Chameleon Championship, was the 3rd seed, 4-bowler stepladder. Lost to Brad Miller by 6 pins. I thought he seemed very comfortable today, Randy, in our interviews, this young star, with where his game is.
Buckets?
Yeah, no, you're right. He does. He always seems like he's pretty comfortable.
And pretty good.
And really good. Well, Simonson's got an 11-pin lead, and I'll tell you what, Dave, when we come back, I'll tell you a story about a fast food restaurant that involves Simonson and Dick Allen.
Here, PBA playoffs, 1 game, single elimination match, and it's tight. Dick Allen, Anthony Simonson, the 20 and 4 seed head-to-head. Winner moves on, loser goes home. 6 frame for Allen. Looks for the turkey, bringing 10-pin.
Oh, that was such a good shot. And I mean, that would have put him right in it. All right, so you want to know the story?
I absolutely want to know.
Okay.
Been waiting.
So Anthony Simonson and Dick Allen are at a fast food place. They place their order, and the customer service person asks, look out. All right. Customer service person asks for
Nice, Gary.
Anthony's name to go with the order. So Anthony says, Anthony. And then goes and stands to the side. Dick gets up, places his order, leaves the name, and then goes and kind of starts ducking behind this wall. So the restaurant calls out Anthony. Anthony goes up and gets his food and then says Marco. And Dick Allen stands up from behind the wall and yells, Polo! And Anthony Simonson left the restaurant.
Walked right up. Marco Polo, you gotta love it.
Anything but typical, that man. You gotta admit, that's pretty good.
He's always
42.
fun to be around, this guy.
Oh, there's
Pin,
one.
trip late.
There's a nice break.
Yeah, we have got a very close match here. Sometimes even a typical house bowler needs a break.
Yeah, he would have really liked that 10-pin there in the sixth frame. That would have given him a 4-bagger in the lead. But we got a good one right here. Pitch black for Simonson. Urethane ball. That's why he's going so straight.
Get the 10 out.
Right at it. Yes, it did get the 10-pin, Anthony. And a big strike for Simonson. Back up by 22 pins, 7th frame.
Bobby, can I have a re-rack, please?
Lots of re-rack.
Almost 20 miles
got
an
a
hour.
double.
Excuse me, Dave. Almost 20 miles an hour and a 500 rev rate. That's really bringing it. Take a look at the way these two players are playing the lanes. Allen in red, Simonson in blue. Simonson ball out in front because of the ball speed. And you can see the numbers at the break point, very similar. I mean, right on top of each other, but that's the only thing that is close to what these two are doing.
Left lane to go up by 32 pins, yes.
Following the footsteps of Dad. You know, what can I say?
Simonson calls Dick Allen Dad, and Dick Allen calls Simonson son.
I love that. They've got a really good relationship.
Yeah, they really do. And remember, Allen tripped the 4-pin on that left lane the last time he was up, and Simonson just did the same thing.
Dick Allen is 19 years older.
Fatal Venom is Dick Allen's arsenal.
Wow, perfect shot, 1-3 pocket. Millions of kids nationwide are without their normal access to sports and play due to COVID-19. That's why Fox Sports and Good Sports are restoring play for kids, and the programs that serve them through donations of brand new sports equipment help keep kids in the game by texting play to the number on your screen. That's PLAY to donate today.
Yeah, great cause.
Absolutely.
I think for Dick Allen to have any chance, he must strike here in the 9th frame.
Prather, defending champ, and Marshall Kent coming up. 2 young stars on the tour. Foundation frame to reduce it to 12. 9-pin.
Come on, man. Are you serious?
Well, I don't blame him. 6 frame, that 10-pin, and then now the solid 9 here in the 9th frame. And he's going to need a lot of help from Simonson. Not sure he's going to get it. He carries those 2 shots, 6 in a row.
I'm the guy who leaves the stone 9.
Really good shot. We've watched Anthony Simonson grow up on the PBA Tour, haven't we?
Yes, we have.
7 years already on tour. And there was a great report from Kimberly about his future. Doesn't want to be bowling on tour too late in life. You step up and hit shots like that, he could retire a little early with a pretty big bank account. Up 33 with a strike in the 9th. 4-bagger for Simonson. He is something.
Yeah, that pretty much locked it up.
win, he'll take on the victor of the Prather-Kent match coming up next. Just needs 6. And gets 10 and gets a victory.
Nice to show up again. Nice work, nice work.
Third of the TOC, second U.S. Open of Belmo, fourth in the Indianapolis Open, runner-up to Belmo at the World Championship, runner-up to Troop at the PBA Tour Finals. Guy's been a runner-up a lot. He's been top 5 a lot on TV all year long. An incredibly consistent season. Well, to cap it off with a win at the PBA playoffs. Won't be easy. Does get by Dick Allen in the round of 16.
Nice to actually bowl.
This guy's that good. And Anthony Simonson advances at the 2020 PBA playoffs here in Centerville, Virginia, over 20th seeded Dick Allen. Simonson is through. Marshall Kent, Chris Prather, our defending champion, will go head-to-head. Winner takes on Simo in the round of 8. Marshall Kent, immense athleticism and talent, head-to-head with Shark Kent, the defending champ, Chris Prather. Welcome back, everyone. PBA playoffs. Marshall Kent set to go head-to-head with Chris Prather, 2 young superstars in the PBA Tour. Prather won this event last year in Portland, Maine. Now let's meet Marshall Kent.
Will the real Slim Shady please stand up? Former Rookie of the Year Marshall Kent can do it all, one-handed or two-handed. But his toughest competitor may just be himself. Kent's had big shoes to fill since bursting onto the scene as a youngster, and he's not ready to settle for just 4 PBA titles to his name. Will he lose himself in the pressure of these playoffs, or will he stand up to the competition? This is Marshall Kent.
So far, he has stood up to the pressure and the competition. The new look, Marshall Kent letting it grow up top. 4 titles from Yakima, Washington, the Great Northwest, and what a talent this guy is. An incredible athlete. Marshall Kent gets going. Left lane, not what he wanted to start. 2-4-5.
Yeah, Marshall has decided to go with urethane, and we just saw Simonson come off of a real big 258 game with the urethane. We'll see if Marshall has the same kind of success.
Winner takes on Anthony Simonson, who took down Dick Allen, Belmo, and Lavoie. Also won here today in the round of 16 at the PBA playoffs. Well, here he is. Won it last year in Maine. Chris Prather, let's meet him now.
With a rev rate faster than a speeding bullet, able to make a 7-10 split with a single ball. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Shark Kent. Chris Prather, the tour's Superman, is the current PBA playoff champion, strike derby champ, and the reigning king of the lanes. And you can bet his opponents are looking to throw a little kryptonite his way, especially his Lex Luthor, Bill O'Neill, whom he narrowly defeated at this event last year and the 2020 Tournament of Champions, claiming the top prize and a hefty $100,000 check to go with it. There's a lot riding on our man of steel. Does Shark Kent have what it takes for a repeat victory here at the PBA playoffs? This is Chris Prather.
Shark Kent. I love it. I mean, he does look a lot like Clark Kent with glasses, gotta admit. I think he enjoys that reference, right?
Yeah, he does. Shark Clark, I mean, there's been a lot of nicknames for him, but I think Shark Kent's the one that's going to stick around for a bit.
Only 28 years old. 3 titles. A big breakout for Chris Prather in the last year. All started at the playoffs. He has won some big events for big money. Leaves a 7-pin here.
Yeah, I talk about Chris and his talent level all the time when he's on the telecast. And he's just fun to watch, and he does some pretty amazing things with the bowling ball. And he makes it look real easy.
We have seen a 300 on this show, but as Chris told us today in the pre-match interviews, if it's challenging, got by Bill O'Neill, won the $100,000 last year in the championship match. He is ready. He's versatile to face any lane condition that might come his way. And some of the best in the world have been flummoxed by the lane conditions here, or we could see a 300. I mean, it's been that kind of playoffs. Some loft, left lane, 10-pin.
What was the word you said? That
flummoxed.
Yeah, I'm flummoxed by what you just said with the word flummoxed. Hang on a minute. Let me Google that.
Google that.
All right. A little late around the head pin and leaves that quitter 10. Oh, okay, no problem. And it just recently went to a plastic spare ball, too. He used to use just a strike ball he was using and just flattened his hand and wrist out. So it's a little change for Chris.
As we saw in the feature about Marshall, yeah, he's had some issues on TV. He struggled at times. Got by Chris Vi first round by 6 pins here at the playoffs. But his answer to us about that, and yes, we asked him a lot about it. Who will adapt to the environment the fastest? He was able to win match 1. How about match 2? 2-5.
Well, that wasn't a urethane ball. That was reactive resin. And I don't know if he's going to use reactive resin on the right, letting urethane on the left, or if he just decided after one shot he's going to make a change. But, you know, he even though he beat Chris by 218 to 212, it wasn't all that convincing.
2-5 there has his mark. Let's recap the win over Chris Vi.
Well, I mean, Chris Vi left back-to-back ring 10s on the left lane, which ultimately cost him. You know, Marshall closed it out with that hit there, but and they got 9 on the spill shot to win by 6. But if Chris catches one of those hits, it's a different story, and we would be recapping and talking about Chris Vi and not Marshall Kent. So he has decided to go with reactive resin on both lanes after one shot with urethane.
Left lane, match with Vi, 1-5 strikes on the left. He was 5 of 6 in the right lane. That looked pretty good from Marshall Kent. 1-pin match early going, and Marshall likes it.
I tell you, it's very interesting that a player changes from urethane to reactive resin in one shot, which then I asked the question, well, why did you even look at it?
Major champion this year, Chris Prather, strikes there, and the reason?
If you're that quick to change, then that means you weren't sure about the choice in the first place. Yeah, you see that follow through going to the left side of Chris Prather's head, and that's because of what he's doing with his hand at release. And Chris Prather, I'm being told, is using 2 different bowling balls. And we'll get his arsenal up here in a minute.
Go. Lane. Go. Help late. And a strike for Prather. And he stays hot. Max numbers, high scores coming in this match.
Yeah, big break there. Tripping the 4-9 out late for an early double for Chris Prather.
Has a double. 11-pin lead. Marshall Kent looks very confident here as he steps up. Looks for a double himself into the 4th frame. Hasn't won on tour since 2017. It's hard to believe for a guy this talented.
Give me one. Go!
Got it.
Wait for it. Wait for it.
Take it down, Messenger. Take it down.
Well, that's pretty opportune time for a Messenger. Watch this. Head pin goes to the sidewall and then goes over to the 10 and says, hey, you have the money you owe me? No. Well, I'm taking you out.
I mean, I've done hundreds of shows. You haven't heard that one yet, that reference. Be afraid. Arsenal for Marshall.
High road Pearl for Marshall Kent now to take the lead. Oh boy, that was bad. That was
shot that time. 6-10 stands. Randy, you're right.
Yeah. What's the name of that? What's the name of the baseball team from New York?
Which one? Yankees, Mets? Which one?
The first one you said.
Yanks?
Yeah, because that's what this was. Full Yankee.
Oh, this is Deadwood in the flat gutter.
Yeah, that's just straight left out of his hand early and straight through the nose, leaving the 6-10.
There's some deadwood in the channel, the gutter on the right side, so that's been cleared. .610, got that. Prather by 3. Looks here for the turkey. 5th frame. Go up by 13 pins. Told us today feels very confident about taking on Marshall Kent. Likes the way he's bowling now. Looking for help. That scout won't get to the 10.
See the power and the speed of Chris Prather up there at the top of your screen. And I think it was real interesting when he talked about his strategy. He said, well, you know, I can really get my bowling balls to get through the front part of the lane very easily. The problem is when the other players use urethane, they carry oil down the lane, and then I have a hard time getting my ball to come around the corner. So that's when he really starts to wrist it, and that's what he's doing tonight. 2 different balls for Prather. It's IQ Tour Nano Pearl on the right lane, High Road on the left.
One prior TV match between these two is this year at the Players Championship. We called that, Randy, in Columbus. Bill O'Neill won eventually by one pin over E.J. Tackett. It was a week after Prather had won his first career major at the TOC. Coming right at you, lane level look, a strike. Chris Prather, left lane, crushing the pins.
Well, we have a great match here. It's only 2 pins separating Kent and Prather. I've got a great stat for you about Prather's win last year when we come back.
Prather, Kent rolls on here. Round of 16, PBA playoffs, 1 game, single elimination match. And as Randy said before the break, it's close. 2 pins separate the 2. 6th frame, works on a spare, Kent. Good shot, 10-pin stands.
Yeah, Marshall going much straighter, especially through the front part of the lane, than Chris Prather. Two completely different lines I think we're going to get a look at. And here's how these 2 players are attacking this 39-foot Don Carter oil pattern. You see Marshall Kent's the red ball, Prather the blue. At the arrows, it's a good 7 boards difference between the 2, and the break point completely different as well. So nothing close to one another.
Love that breakdown. Critical point of the match here. Way Prather's bowling. Lane liked it, that's why.
Sure was.
Tattoos the 1-3 pocket. Impressive shot. Marshall Kent, a 12 seed.
Yeah, this looked good immediately out of his hand, and Marshall knew it. What an athlete. This guy's a gym rat. Can do anything to a bowling ball. I've seen him throw it left-handed, two-handed,
oh,
one-handed.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Lefty, too?
Yeah, he's
Why
really
not?
good left-handed.
Pray the right lane.
Yes.
You bet.
Great
Big
choice,
stat.
great choice.
continuing with the strikes, and you have some numbers you want to talk about too, Randy.
Yeah, I mean, so last year when Prather won, his route to victory beat Darren Tang, Doherty, Jason Belmonte, Anthony Simonson, and Bill O'Neill in the finals. He bowled 9 games, and you know what his high game was en route?
What was it?
To winning $100,000 in the championship?
What was it?
228.
Wow.
Talk about catching the right guys at the right time, and that's kind of been the theme throughout the playoffs.
226 and 216, the race to 2 title match over O'Neill. So, hey, whatever it takes to win.
One more good one, baby.
He's won a couple of Elias Cups as well with the Lumberjacks, including 2020.
Big shot here.
Centerville.
Excuse me, Dave. Big shot here can increase the lead to 23.
8th frame. Looks
Go.
for the turkey.
Yes.
Big shot.
Yes, it was.
For sure, Kent.
I thought it was very heartwarming and very classy when Chris Prather said during our interviews that if he were to lose, he wouldn't mind losing to Marshall so that Marshall could win it for his dad.
Marshall's been through so much. Recently lost Dad Jim to cancer. And we again extend our condolences to the Kent family. They were very close. An incredibly tough time for
Ball comes across and sends the 10-pin to concussion protocol.
foundation frame. Here we go. Cut it to 3 with a strike in the 9th for Kent. Big shot, left lane. Oh, it's a good one. Ringing 10-pin for Marshall Kent. Wow.
So good.
It was.
Yes, it was. It's what makes this game such a great game. It could be so rewarding at times and so frustrating at others. It's not enough just to hit the pocket. Players are constantly figuring out a way to not only execute and perform and hit their target and throw it at the right speed with the right rotation, but they have to get the bowling ball to go through the pins correctly to strike when it does hit the pocket.
Let's go up 24. Down goes the 10. A huge shot for Prather.
What
Kent,
a big
left lane, Marshall. Kent couldn't get it done with a break. And Randy, Prather got that break, didn't he?
What a great shot. And watch the 10-pin. It looks like somebody hit it with a taser. I mean, he gave that the full wrist, and there goes the 10-pin.
Taser 10.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That's a good.
That's a real good one. I'll
today.
use that.
Please do. Keep that. 9. That's what Prather needs for the win.
Uh-oh.
It's a high shot, but he gets his 9.
Well, that could have been disastrous, but it's not.
It's a win.
Yep.
Just enough. 3-pin stands for Prather. He'll get the win and advance to the round of 8 to take on Anthony Simonson.
Man, what could have been for Marshall Kent if he just carried a little bit, a 10-pin in the 6th and then in the 9th.
He bowled well. Like you said, Randy, what a tough game. What a tough game.
Ivan, great ball.
Defending champ is through.
Shark Kent. It's been a tough go for Marshall. We're all, we're so close and such a tight-knit family out here. And Marshall, we love you. And
Go on.
we're all here for you, buddy. it's great to see out here.
Marshall told us he's doing the best he possibly can under the circumstances. And as we've heard from Kimberly throughout our broadcast here in Centerville, he knows Jim would have wanted to come back from Washington State to the Washington, D.C. area to compete here and do his best. Sure did. Bowled well. Beat Chris Vi by 6 pins, but too much today to face the defending champ. Prather, the 5 seed, got the bye to the round of 16, and now he's to the Elite 8 of the PBA playoffs to take on Anthony Simonson. Belmonte, Lavoie, Simonson, Prather. This side of the bracket is set Elite 8. Kimberly joined by Chris Prather.
All right, Chris. So you have made it to the quarterfinals. Walk us through this match, because you needed 9 in that 10th frame, and you looked a little worried. Were you thinking you were going to get it?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't feel super confident going into that 10th. I didn't know what the score was. I just wanted to make a really good shot, and didn't do that, but was very fortunate to go away with a makeable instead of a big split. And Marshall bowled a great game. I just got a couple lucky breaks and came out on top.
Well, you're one step closer to defending your title, but now you got to take on Simonson. So you planning on switching up your strategy?
It really depends on what he's going to do. You know, if he throws urethane again, I might try to move a little bit further right and play off of what he's doing. But, you know, we'll just see what happens.
Well, you have secured yourself in the quarterfinals. Why don't you go up, stand up with the other competitors on that victory wall?
Thank you very much.
The 4 great bowlers are through to the Elite 8 of this side of the bracket. Lavoie, Belmonte, and Simonson, along with Chris Prather, the defending champ. Randy, what a show. What a day here in Centerville. 29th all-time 300 game on TV from Lavoie against Sean Rash, who bowled so well. Belmonte grinds his way to a victory. Simon and Prather are through as well.
Yeah, amazing. I mean, we still have the greatest player on the planet still alive, and the defending champ. It's going to be an amazing race for the finale.
PBA playoffs roll on FS1 next Sunday. Look forward to seeing that. The other side of the bracket, Sunday, October 25th, 5 Eastern on FS1, also streaming on the Fox Sports app. Now, for the entire crew, Randy Peterson, Kimberly Pressler, it's Dave Ryan saying so long from Bolero Centerville in Virginia. PBA playoffs roll on. It was tremendous history today made. Francois Lavoie, 300 game. Belmonte, a win. Simonson rose a 258 for a victory. And then Chris Prather, just too much for Marshall Kent. At the 2020 PBA playoffs, all going for that belt.